Hey guys, thank you so much for tuning in at Inward Somatic Studio. I'm your guide, Tracy. Today we're going to be focusing on letting it go. Now, whether you are more of a fan of the Elsa version of that or the stronger, like, let that shit go, it's your adventure. It's your journey. It's your practice. You can decide which way that leans. Primarily, we're going to be talking about finding those tiny muscles that can release in a couple of these poses. Here we go. We're going to start standing today in a forward fold. I'm going to do just a quick, I don't even know if I'm in frame. I don't care. Just a full body. Stretch. Okay, that just needed to happen. Thank you. Forward fold, however you want to get there, whether you want to do a roll down or like a swan dive. My pants are shedding. All right. So when I talk about letting go of a muscle, I mean a specific tiny muscle. I want your brain to scan your body and find a muscle that is holding tension. I want your mind to connect to sorry, I was really thinking deeply. To connect to locate the tension. I want it to sense the tension. I want it to identify the tension. That's kind of the first step in the letting go. It also needs to know how to release it. Finding the tension isn't enough, right? You can be like, oh, that's tight. Cool. What are you going to do about it? You have to be able to say, hey, muscle, tap out. We don't need you right now. In this forward fold, remember that you don't need to lock out your knees. If you need to lock them out for a minute to kind of get used to it, okay, fine. But then let's make sure there's a little bend in them. I don't want you to pass out. My apologies. I'm still waking up in the morning. Remember too, a part of somatic yoga is the freedom and the creativity to allow yourself to move in these poses. We aren't static. We don't need to be static. Instead, I encourage you to feel safe and comfortable in this space, in your body, to move differently, to, even though we're in this forward fold, to, I don't know, try flattening your back. What does that do? What muscles does that tug on? Okay, so we flattened our back. Let's try to round it out. How does that feel different? Log it in your brain. We are searching for tension so that we can relax muscles. But sometimes we have to get creative just to say, like, what does this button do? That's how we find the tension so that we can let it go. Another one that I really like to do in this forward fold is to shift my weight forward into my toes and back into my heels. Moving slowly so we A, don't fall over, and B, don't injure ourselves. So I'm going to have my hands here for balance. Kind of forward in my toes. Remember to keep breathing. I'm talking so it doesn't sound like I'm breathing, but I assure you I'm breathing. But breathe deeply here. Try to soften on those exhales. Feel how your body, how the energy in your body, how the stretch in your body, how it moves along those muscle fibers as you explore in this stretch. Oh, I locked out my knees. I can feel it. And if you accidentally lock out your knees, it's okay. Soften your knees. Come back. So if you move to a new spot, remember to soften something. I usually find that my neck holds up. Some of that is because I'm trying not to just like breathe right into this microphone. But like if you kind of come over to here, I'm coming over to the right side. As I've moved here, I've no doubt like crunched up my shoulders. So I'm going to make a conscious effort to like pull them away from my neck, where now I've created this tension in a different direction. And I'm going to practice breathing that out. I'm intentionally letting go of that muscle. I'm creating the pathway where I can tell that muscle, hey, shoulders, relax. And like, I think those words, that's, I don't want that to be an almost involuntary movement. I am making a very deliberate, intentional connection. Talking to your body has like studied psychological, physiological effects. What you tell your body and what your body tells you, the acknowledgement of what your body tells you, has crazy effects on your blood pressure, your heart rate, your stress hormones, like your cortisol. That is measurable in your body. So what messages are you sending and receiving in your body? More so on the sending. Your body's is gonna let me think how I wanted to actually say that. What mental messages are you sending into your body? Your body is going to be sending messages to your brain all the time. How and which ones you're listening to makes a big difference too. So like right now, I've got a pain point here, kind of in this little kind of crook in your back. I could sit here and acknowledge that pain point exists, because it does. Or I could say, but man, the stretch that I am feeling on this right side through this IT band and up into my glute, man, that feels great. I will gladly sacrifice just a little twinge, which is probably from my scoliosis in this back. I will gladly sacrifice some slight discomfort. It's not pain, slight discomfort in this part of my back for this feel-good stretchiness along that side there. These are the messages I'm talking about. And just a little more creativity. I arched these fingers. I activated these fingers and kind of activated this side bender stretch. That got a little deeper. Whew, a little spicy, but it feels good. These tiny, tiny movements that we do here in somatic yoga, they speak volumes. Our muscles start dictating books to us. And if we're willing to listen, we can learn a lot about ourselves. Come out of that. Wow, that hamstring is experiencing waves of, it's like color and imagery going on up in here. Woo. I'm going to explore just a little bit more, kind of front to back. I think I may come down into a squat. I need to kind of do kind of a low back situation. If you are a person who enjoys a squat, please go ahead. Feet kind of as wide as the mat. Don't feel like you have to actually get into this deep squat. Feel free to slide back into a child's pose. I think that would also suffice here. I'm not looking for perfect squat. I am not a technical yogi master up in here. I just do what my body enjoys. I really just try to listen to the messages, which is ultimately what I hope for you joining me here at this somatic yoga. I want you to listen deeply to your body. Open the mail that your muscles are sending you. Follow the breadcrumbs unabashedly. Like the first couple times you do this somatic yoga, you will get these messages. These messages. Bird is still not awake. From your body that's like, I want to sit down. I'm like, okay, sure, I'll sit down. You sit down. I want to twist. Okay, sure. But eventually, once you follow those messages, you realize that you get a reward from it. When you sit down, when you twist, sorry, message coming in, message incoming, you get a reward, especially if you notice it. You get a dopamine reward, right? You get the stretch. You feel the, that feels nice. You release that muscle. You relax the muscle. You rest the muscle. You stretch it. Whatever word that is that your body gets. And if you're listening, okay, come out of your child's pose / squat here. If you were listening to that, you will receive the reward. And the more you can focus on the, oh, that feels good, the more you can focus on the reward that you receive, it compounds. You want to look for the reward. You want to look for the rest. You want to look for the stretch. It creates this rippling, oh my God, my statistics and math teachers are hating me right now. It's an exponential growth, right? It just, and it really does feed into your day-to-day life. You want to find the comfort. You want to find the ease. You want to find this feels good and safe and wonderful to my system, to my inner ecosystem. How wonderful is that? Okay, sorry. Woo, tangent. All right, I'm gonna come up here. We're gonna do like it's not really a crescent lunge. It's not really a runner's lunge. We want to open up these hip flexors. I'm going to use the furniture. If you want to use blocks or you are much more balanced than I am, please do that. But we want to be nice and tall in our chest furniture because I'm not well balanced. Kind of drive that hip under so that you can stretch kind of through your psoas here. I'm going to keep talking. Please breathe deeply. Remember to be creative. Breathe into these poses. This one's tricky because your core really wants to hold on here, which please support your core. We want to really let go in this pose with our breath. It's finding that fine line of holding that core strong and steady, and also finding which muscles can relax, which ones can let go, and trusting that when you find that muscle that you can let it go. That's almost the hardest part. Being like, I have identified a muscle that I'm pretty sure I can let go and not be hurt. Can I do that? Well, I don't know. There's only one way to find out. In this pose particularly, because it's a strong core driver, try playing with which muscles you can flex and relax. If I support with my quads, what does that do to help me? If I support by pressing this foot in the ground, what does that do? This is more of a be creative with your strength, less with letting go. Even though the theme of this one is letting go. Sorry about that. Curve.
But it's also about letting go, because you have to tense the muscle and then release it. What happens? Can you feel the difference? Haha, twisted it. All right, that's enough of that. I'm gonna do a quick ham stretch here. Just straighten this leg. I push mine out a little because that makes me feel better. Bend forward over, move slowly and gently. Letting go really requires so much trust. Trust in yourself, trust in your environment. If we're talking big picture, like, how do you know nothing bad will happen? I don't, right? What is that, Finding Nemo? I think that's Finding Nemo. So let's start by cultivating that trust within our bodies. No place better. Let's start here. Because there's no danger here. There's no danger in our bodies in this practice. The only thing that's going to happen if you let go of muscle that is not the right one in this particular exercise is you might fall over. I fall over a lot. You're close to the ground. You're not going to be hurt. And I hope you laugh from it because it's funny. I'm going to grab my blocks so I can show you how to use blocks. I used furniture last time. Give me a little blanket. Okay. So we're going to do same hip opener on the other side. Woo, knee. Hello, knee. Okay. So if you're using your blocks, it might take a minute to get set right. But you can't hurt yourself by letting go of the wrong muscle. Or if you notice that you maybe loosened, if you relaxed a muscle group that was doing a lot more work, you might notice like, ooh, that doesn't feel great. Okay, so you re-engage the muscle. All you've gotten is more information. You haven't gotten injured. Nothing else happened. You just got more information. You learned more about yourself. More information, more trust, right? And building that mind-body bridge, that intentional, focused bridge, that dialect, building it with trust it's everything. Trusting yourself amplifies everything. It amplifies how you maneuver yourself in your day-to-day life, how you view yourself in relationships, your workplace interactions, at home with your family, friends, how you move through the world. We gaslight ourselves enough by, not even gaslighting, we tear ourselves down enough. Thank you, beauty industry, as a elder millennial woman. No, my hair isn't turning gray. Oh, look how young I can look with all of these beauty products. I can be thinner. I can be effortlessly gorgeous. Cool. I just want to be me. Being so in love with who you are and what you bring to this world is so amazing. Can we do that instead? That's been so downtrodden as being vain and self-absorbed and selfish, which it certainly can be. Yes, of course. But I don't think enough of us love ourselves. Do you love who you are? Do you love how you move through the day? Let's let go of the hate of ourselves. I want to trust myself. I want to feel safe in my body. I want to know that if this world falls apart, I am capable of what I do not know, but I'm going to figure it out. Sorry, tangent. Let the love in. Let the trust in. Let's trust ourselves and feel safe in our bodies. No one lives this life but us. Might as well be nice to be here. Might as well feel nice to be here. That hand feels nice. All right. Hopefully you feel stretched out in that hip opener and hamstring. All right, put blocks up. Keep your blocks if you feel like you need them. I am going to, I'm assessing what my body needs. Always need a good twist. All right, we're going to lay down on your backs. We're going to do a supine spinal twist. Real quick, just notice what you feel in your body. Let's let out some audible breaths. Tone up that vagus nerve and, I don't know, make some noises. I really encourage animal sounds. All right, I'm going to start with our right leg flat out. Left leg's going to come up bent. Cross over the body, nice and easy. However far you go is however far you go. Your goal ultimately is have this left shoulder flat on the ground so you can kind of cactus your arm out this way. Your right arm, up to you, how you like to have it, can be straight out. I like to kind of weigh down this knee. We're twisting here. That's what you're twisting, is this midsection here. Some light tension on either side feels nice to me. Find what feels good. It should feel stretchy and not uncomfortable. Breathe as deep as you can here. I realize with the twist it feels less free as far as the breathing goes. Try to find a muscle that's holding on, that maybe can not hold on. I love this one because it really opens up like your pec muscle here, while also giving a nice spinal twist. Big fan. That's nice. All right, we're going to come out of that. Remember to support yourself. We stay in these positions a decent amount of time. Go ahead, help yourself up. This isn't a contest to see who can get out of these positions with the least amount of help. If you have room, we're going to go to the other side. I'm going to flip because furniture. But you do not have to flip. We're just going to do the other side. Wee. Ooh, yeah. Oh, yeah, we're going to rock that too. That sounds good. Sorry, I just made decisions in my head. All right. Same deal now, though. The right leg's going to cross over the left. Eek. Okay. Ugh. Man, anybody who is a wizard with chiropractic mechanics, body mechanics, can be like, wow, Tracy, that you have really limited range of motion on that side. Yes, I do. Yes, I do today. Part of what's great about this somatic yoga practice, especially the more you start to understand and learn about your body and what it does day to day, is you get information like that. You're like, hey, my stretch is not as deep on this other side. That's information, right? Because the reason you would have limited range of motion is you've got inflammation built up somewhere. You can get inflammation from a whole lot of things. So depending on who is in your life, either a body works person or if you're seeing a doctor about something specific, that is information that you can share with them. Either you've got a joint out of place, you've got an injury somewhere, maybe you're compensating for something else down the line mechanically. Who knows, right? It's all connected, so it's really sometimes hard to know what the problem is. Which is why being a human is really hard. It's really hard. But we just do the things that we can do. And this is so easy. It's freaking free. You just roll around on your floor and wow, I feel better, right? Or not. I hope you feel better. Oh yeah, pull right across the top of this hip feels nice. My thumb in there. Dig it a little bit. Sometimes if you find a spot that just could use like I wish somebody would push on that. That's the messages I'm talking about, guys. If you're like, oh, I just really wish I had a tennis ball right in there. Get a tennis ball. You can use other modalities in here too. Do your thing. It's meant to feel good. It's meant to say, ah. If you make at least one creepy sex noise while you do this somatic yoga, I have done my job. Come out of that. Pull your knees in together. We'll just do a little curly cue here. Kind of rock back and forth as long as it feels nice. Deep breath in. Do another one. Thank you, vagus nerve. That feels real nice. All right, we're going to do a seated ending. I don't know if it's really a Shavasana if it's seated, but close out seated. In the seated position, tweaky back. I want you to find one muscle you can let go. All right, let that shit go. Whatever it is, use your brain. Send out the feelers, like happy feelers, not angry feelers, happy feelers, kind feelers. Find a muscle that's holding tension that doesn't need to. Right? You're observing the parts of your body that are at rest, that are stable, that feel solid. You're also observing parts of your body that are not as stable. They're maybe not quite as at rest as they could be. And you're finding the point that connects them. That's the muscle that can be relieved of its duty temporarily. I can feel it in myself right now. I don't know if it's the quad or the adductor, but I can feel it. it's kind of flickery, like it's not sure if it needs to work or not. So I'm going to focus a lot of mental energy into trying to find the button that turns that muscle off. It doesn't need to be working right now. Its function doesn't need to be functioning right now. And that can feel worrisome. I can feel that kind of swirling around, like, but maybe I do need to hold on to that. I really don't. That's not helping me sit up. Now you'll notice, perhaps, that I just sat up a little straighter. Maybe a different muscle needed to engage in order to relax that particular muscle. It's all right. That's information. But it's actually easier on my body to bring that center of balance from kind of back crooked shrimp a little more forward. Technical term, by the way, crooked shrimp, for just kind of slouching into a... No, it's not a technical term. I just made it up. Just before anybody Googles some shit. No, it's not. I just made it up. Or I stole it from a meme, but it's not technical in the strict sense. There we go. I can tell that muscle has rested. That's turning... It's turning the control back to the brain and not allowing the body to run roughshod. Because sometimes it does. Sometimes our bodies run around in stress and anxiety and just all the time. This time on the mat is about saying, hey body, we don't need to do that. We can chill. Just sit your butt down. You're fine. I know you don't believe me, but you are okay. In this space, in this moment, you are safe. You can relax. I can take the reins a minute. We can come out of survival mode. And the more you do this, the easier it becomes. You'll find you can relax these funky muscles all over your body, big ones and little ones. The more you explore, the more you get yourself into really unique and different yoga positions, the more you will find funny muscles that you can turn on and turn off whenever you want. There's great power in that. Solid, confident, creative, fun power in that. Does it serve any great purpose? I don't know, but it's a cool talent. I'll take it. I hope you found some rest today, and I hope you take it with you. Thank you so much for joining me at Inward Somatic Studio. I'm Tracy, and I hope to see you next time on the mat. Thanks.